Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one I'm going to be covering the new Keaton Henson record entitled Monument. It's no secret that Keaton Henson at this point is one of my favorite contemporary artists still at large. This is very much in part to his music, but it's equally in part due to his background, which is severe anxiety that prevents him from performing live events more often than not in interviews, and causes him to live a very enigmatic lifestyle wherein he just usually doesn't disclose much, if anything, about his personal life. Therefore, the mere glimpses that we get into his existence, his psyche, his just general headspace come exclusively through his music. And that headspace comes at a mountainous level of just everything. Extreme levels of self-doubt, afflictions, interpersonal struggles with both family, loved ones, just a massive variety of these somber soliloquies, played in a grayscale tone that somehow still lingers in the hands of distant hope. First off, it's crazy just how much Keaton has backpedaled and also leapt forward throughout his entire career, ranging from sweeping orchestral instrumentals that are played in the classical format to intimate folk music and indie music. I mean, Keaton has never really been a particularly spectacular vocalist. Even his instrumental palette is in the folk tradition, the old school folk tradition of utilizing repetition as a healthy tool. I could see one saying he doesn't possess the same amount of proficiency as others. But that is Keaton's entire modus operandi. He's flawed. He's not perfect in any way, and he allows you to see that through his music. It's not difficult to find a common trend with some of the best folk and just soft rock artists of all time, that what they did in the way of songwriting far outweighed anything they did in being revolutionary instrumentally, whether you look at Bob Dylan or Stevie Nicks or Tracy Chapman. And to put it simply, Monument is Keaton returning to a very intimate piano ballad as well as folk instrumental-led record that is so hushed, it's so quiet, it doesn't jump out at you, it's not intrusive, and it has some of his best lyrics in a while. Monument in many ways is the lens into his mind at current day. Prayer is a great example of this. It was a single and it deals with the death of his father. And tracks like Self-Portrait or Ambulance really do paint him as just this very flawed human being that deals with a lot of shit. And his ability to utilize his own negativity and his own self-doubts and his anxiety in a way that is not only accessible and relatable to the general public, but also feels like it is coming straight from his soul and straight from his heart, that you couldn't make this up. The way he laces poeticism in with usual tones and usual tempos and usual lyrics that just hit immediately is incredible. Through 54 minutes of material, I didn't once find myself being bored or wishing it was over. If anything, I wish it would have kept going, because he just seems so in his element on this record, and it just feels like you're listening to someone's swan song. Like, sincerely, and I hate to use comparisons of this caliber, but this reminds me a lot of David Bowie's record Black Star, in just the way that Keaton can paint these spectacles in the sky for you to see with ultraviolet. And when I say nothing's intrusive about this record, I mean it. For the most part, he is so close to you. He's right in your ear. The production is very minimalistic, it's very bare bones, it's very scant, it doesn't try to be anything it's not, it doesn't try to fill out this massive mix. In many ways, the instrumentals usually only consist of a handful of instruments, if that. In many ways, it'll be led by either acoustic guitar or piano, and save for the orchestral moments, it usually keeps in that lane. But the intimacy that is formed on this record is fantastic. This isn't the most perfect record from Keaton. I still would say that I prefer a lot of his very early material to this, but I cannot deny how far he's come. And I appreciate how he has sort of combined his orchestralness that has been a staple in his recent material, the classical patterns that he has injected into his music, so much so to have full records that are played in the classical format. It's impressive how he found very fitting moments to put that into these very minimalistic tracks and make the transitional work feel very right at home and feel like it worked with how the storytelling of his lyricism went. And even though he doesn't jump out at you, he lets the instrumental speak for themselves when they need to. I would love to hear Keaton do more of what he did on a track like Prayer. Inject more of these classical themes into the already existing themes that you are incorporating. Because more often than not, it just results in fireworks. So if you want a very hushed, intimate, close to home, relatable, and just passionate record performed by someone that does it so much justice in the classical format, check this out. I feel like it's going to be very difficult for there to be another folk record that amounts to just how great this one sounds. I stepped into this record looking at the length and the track listing fully expecting that I might not like it, but I did. So much so that I'm going to be giving it an 8 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Keaton Henson record, Monument? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this record. I would love to discuss it with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that like button. You know who it is. My name is Keaton Henson.